What if you had to inject insulin every day for the rest of your life to stay alive? How would you feel?
What if you needed all of this just to stay alive?
What if you had to watch your 2-year-old have a tantrum because their blood sugar was so low they had no idea what was going on? What if you had to watch this and hope and pray that their blood sugar comes up fast enough that you don't have to hold them down and pin them down and shove food down their throat again?
What if you had to watch your 4-year-old test his blood sugar several times a day?
What if you constantly feel like a human pincushion from all the finger sticks, sensor changes, and infusion set changes?
What if every decision that you make for the rest of your life, every single day, revolved around a single number? And that number can be different every time. In order to get that number, you have to prick your finger every single time. And based on that number is a decision that you'll make.
You had to wake up several times a night just to test your blood sugar to make sure you would make it to the morning.
What if one day my children were like me and ended up with type 1 diabetes also?
What if you had a type 1 diabetic child or yourself, and not only were you given the lovely amoxicillin for having strep, but you also had to deal with your normal stuff every single day that you have?
What if you were doing a craft and you had to stop doing what you were doing to have your child check her blood sugar to make sure she was okay?
What if every morning before you get behind the wheel of your car, or anytime you get behind the wheel of your car, you have to know these numbers? Their life depends on it.
What if when you got off work and were ready to go to the gym and do your workout, you had to check your blood sugar to see what it was? Right now, I'm 147 and I'm dropping. So that means I'm going to do my workout. However, I'm going to have to keep an eye on my watch to make sure I don't drop too low. If I drop too low, I'll have to stop my workout, eat a little bit of carbs, and then hopefully be able to continue my workout.
What if you have a disease and you can deal with it, but you just don't want them to have to deal with it, so you worry every day?
What if you have to explain to your children before they can even talk what diabetes is, what an insulin pump is, and why they can't touch the thing on mommy's arm?
Wake up at 374, almost doubled the number I went to bed with. It is so frustrating. What if you had a disease? Like I said, you have no idea what it does and why. When I'm high, you feel so tired. You wake up with a headache. It's just so exhausting, and it's so frustrating knowing that I thought I did everything fine going to bed last night, 169. That was an hour after I ate. I thought everything was okay, and then wake up, doubled my number.
What if you had to constantly explain what the effect of having a high glucose has on your ability to communicate?
What if it took all day to just feel normal again? What if it took not going to school? What if it took multiple shots, 16 glasses of water, and no rest at all? What if that's how much it took to feel normal? Diabetics go through this. Diabetics need a cure.
What if your very life depended on this incredibly expensive little vial of fluid every day just to stay alive? What if your life came down to this: inject or die? What if there actually was a cure for diabetes? Tens of millions of people worldwide with diabetes ask that what if every minute of every hour of every day of every year for possibly their entire life. What if you were told when you were diagnosed with diabetes that there would be a cure in 5 years, and you were told that 30 years ago? And what if you were diagnosed with diabetes tomorrow?
So, what if this was your life? What if this was your child's life, living with an incurable disease that is so misunderstood? How funny is diabetes now?